Hello. This is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 266, the book of John, chapters 11 and 12. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
I feel like John is moving along.
Yeah, we're about half done now.
Yay!
In the last episode, Jesus did a cure of a blind man using some mud made with his spit.
Very hygienic.
And then he got in trouble again with the Pharisees, claiming to be God. So they tried to stone him to death, but he got away. And he ended up escaping from Jerusalem to the place where John the Baptist was baptizing along the Jordan River.
All right, that's where we are now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Chapter 11. A man named Lazarus was sick. He lived in Bethany with Mary and her sister Martha.
Okay, so this is the first we've heard of these three. We've heard of Mary and Martha before, right? Mm-hmm. But that was in another gospel. In the Gospel of John, this is where they first show up.
Okay. Martha and Mary sent a message to Jesus saying, "The man you love is sick." So were they trying to speak in some kind of code and they couldn't use his name? Or did they want Jesus to guess, who in fact do you love? And is it only one man? All those questions.
Well, that is a very good question. The way that it's phrased, here's what it says. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick.
All right, so that sounds kind of clear.
So apparently there was one guy that Jesus especially loved. It would be clear to him. Just write him a little note saying, hey, Jesus, the guy that you love is sick.
So when Jesus received the message, he said, he won't die. And is he saying this to himself or who?
No, he's saying it to the messenger.
Oh, okay.
Maybe to himself, but he said, he won't die. He is sick so that the Son of God can be glorified.
Again, I can't believe they're putting this in here.
Yeah.
When people read the Bible, do they see that? Do they see, oh, God is making somebody sick so that Jesus can heal him so that the people will believe that he is my son?
Yes.
And he'll be glorified.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to glorify Jesus.
Why?
Right? I don't know, but I mean,
yes.
To Bible believers in the New Testament, it's always a good thing. Jesus is to be glorified. This guy is sick so that Jesus can be glorified. Not a thing wrong with that.
I'm just going to let that one go now.
The next verse says that Jesus loved Martha, her sister Mary, and Lazarus. Those three Jesus loved. In the Gospels, there are not many people that are actually said by name that Jesus loved.
Oh, because, Jesus loves everyone.
Yeah, but not in the New Testament.
Just on bumper stickers.
Jesus loves you, yes, I know, because the Bible tells me so. Right?
Oh, really?
Well, you heard that.
Yes, I have.
I could sing it for you, but I'm not a very good singer. But that's something that's told to children all the time, right? Jesus loves you, yes, I know. Well, but the Bible doesn't really tell you so.
No, it does.
But Jesus definitely loved these three. That we know for sure.
Okay.
I guess it's a small enough group that just saying the guy that you love is sick.
Yeah.
He'd know who it is.
Verse 5. Jesus loved Martha, her sister Mary, and Lazarus. So when Jesus heard that Lazarus was sick, he waited 2 days. I mean, that's just cruel.
Yeah. Then he said to his disciples, let's go to Judea again. Of course, I think they're in Judea at the time. But what he means here, let's go to Jerusalem.
Okay.
Or to Bethany, which is close to Jerusalem.
Okay. His disciples said, the last time we were there, the Jews tried to stone you to death. And you want to go there again?
Jesus said, aren't there 12 hours in a day? If you walk in the day, you won't stumble. But if you walk at night, you will. So that's to answer their question, are you sure you want to go to Jerusalem? How that makes any sense to anyone, I don't know. But that's what he said. I think maybe he's saying, since he's the light of the world and he's the light, like he's the door,
So he's got the light in him. People will see who he is and won't kill him, maybe, to address their question.
He's kind of like a flashlight, If you walk with him, they're going to go with him. So they'll be with the light and they won't stumble. Yeah, I don't know what he meant. Yeah. That's what he said.
Okay. Jesus said this after he said, Lazarus is sleeping, so I can go wake him up.
The disciples said, well, if he's sleeping, he'll be okay.
But Jesus meant that Lazarus was dead, not sleeping.
Then Jesus said, Lazarus is dead, and I'm glad, because now you'll believe. But let's go to him.
That is so warped. All right, we're going to move on. Verse 17. By the time Jesus finally arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days.
Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died.
Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again.
Martha said to him, I know he'll rise in the resurrection on the last day.
Jesus said, I'm the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?
Martha said, Yes, Lord, I believe you're the Christ, the Son of God.
Martha said to Mary in secret, the Master is here. He wants to see you.
Mary went to Jesus, fell down at his feet, and said to him, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died.
Jesus said, where is he? And Mary said, come and see.
And the next verse is the shortest verse in the entire Bible. Jesus wept.
Wept.
Wept. He cried.
And he's crying because Lazarus did die, and he's concerned about his skills of raising him from the dead, that he might not be able to do it.
Well, Jesus was glad that he's died. He knew he was
Yes.
dead. So what's he crying about? But I think what we're supposed to think here is it's really amazing that Jesus, the Son of God, was so overtaken with human emotion that his friend that he loved had died, that he wept. It's a little late, right? He hung around for a couple days, didn't do anything when apparently he was just sick.
You wanted to make sure he was really dead, not just half dead.
Truly and sincerely dead,
Yes.
right? Anyway, Jesus wept.
All right. Jesus came to the grave and said, take away the stone.
Martha said, he's been dead for 4 days. He stinks.
They took away the stone, and Jesus said, Father, thanks for listening to me. I know you always hear me, but I'd like these people who are watching to believe that you've sent me.
Then Jesus cried out, Lazarus, come out.
And the dead man came out with a napkin on his face. I guess he was ready to eat.
Maybe they covered his face, had a wrapping around his head or something.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Okay, so we're done with that. Lazarus is raised, and we're going to go on. Verse 45 says, after seeing these things, many Jews believed in Jesus. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. The chief priests and the Pharisees met at a council and said, this man has done many miracles. What should we do? If we leave him alone, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will take our land from us.
The high priest Caiaphas said, it's better for one man to die for the people than for the nation to perish.
From then on, they planned to kill Jesus. To avoid the Jews, Jesus and his disciples went to a city called Ephraim.
Since Passover was coming, the Jews asked each other, do you think Jesus will come to the feast?
Bible scholars don't know where Ephraim might have been. Away from Jerusalem, some little place hiding away there in Ephraim.
Chapter 12. 6 days before Passover, Jesus came to Bethany and ate supper with Martha, Mary, and Lazarus.
Mary took a pound of very expensive ointment and anointed Jesus' feet with it. Then she wiped his feet with her hair.
Judas Iscariot said, why wasn't this ointment sold for 300 pence, with the money given to the poor? Well, what is Judas doing there?
What do you mean? What is Judas doing there?
Because he's just having dinner with Martha, Mary, and Lazarus.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it. I guess that Jesus has this group of apostles, disciples that kind of hang out with him and just follow him around wherever he goes. So when you invite Jesus for supper...
You're inviting a crowd.
I don't know. That's a very good point, because it sounds like this little intimate dinner with the three people that we know that Jesus loved, which are Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. But no, Judas is there too. Maybe the other apostles, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jesus said, "Leave her alone. She's doing this for my burial. You'll always have poor people with you, but you won't always have me."
Yeah, it's all about me.
Uh-huh.
You're probably wondering why I included this, because you've heard this story before.
We have heard this story.
Yeah, it actually occurs in all of the Gospels.
Oh.
Matthew and Mark are very similar, but Luke's is different. In Luke's, the woman who does this is called a sinful woman. She was a notoriously sinful woman. Her name was Mary. So people assume that Luke's talking about Mary Magdalene, right?
Mm-hmm. The harlot, the prostitute.
I guess.
There's no
I guess she
evidence
was.
of that,
I mean,
really.
she had 7 devils, somebody said. Remember
Oh,
we had
yeah,
it?
yeah.
But anyway, people assume that's Mary Magdalene. And that makes it very dramatic. And they said that when it's done in art, it's almost always done with Mary Magdalene. It's assumed that it's Mary Magdalene. So that's why that I'm including this, is because it's different than that. And the other thing that's different about it is in the other Gospels, it's the disciples that are complaining about it, or it is others that are complaining where they doesn't say exactly who. In this case, they specify that it was Judas that was complaining about it.
Oh, the Judas who, what was he doing there anyway?
That's right. Where'd he come from?
That's right.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So it's just interesting. Now,
Yes.
I'm leaving the next story out, which follows this, which is Jesus' entrance into Jerusalem.
Okay.
You know, when he comes in on the donkey and the colt.
Yeah, the pony. It's a pony show.
Depending on which gospel you read. The story is told again here in John, and it's essentially the same that we've heard before, so I'm leaving it out.
Okay.
But now Jesus has returned to Jerusalem. He's entered Jerusalem in his triumphal way, and he's right before Passover, so we
Yes.
kind of know what's coming.
Yes, we do. Jesus said, "A seed must die to produce fruit." Is that true?
No, it's definitely not true. If a seed dies, it will not produce fruit. A seed has to be alive in order to germinate.
Uh-huh.
If it's dead, it's not going to happen. So Jesus is wrong about that.
If you love your life, you'll lose it. If you hate your life, you'll keep it and live forever. That's all very confusing,
Yeah.
but we'll just go on. Verse 28. Then Jesus said, "Father, glorify your name."
And a voice came from heaven and said, "I have glorified it, and I'll glorify it again."
People who were nearby heard the voice and said, "That was thunder."
But others said, "An angel spoke to him."
So somebody heard something, not necessarily a voice.
There was something, they heard something.
Uh-huh.
Some people thought it was just thunder, and so he must not have been speaking distinctly. God.
Like that.
Yeah, he had his God voice going on. And sometimes it's hard to know where there's thunder. God sometimes sounds like thunder. But other people thought he had an angelic voice, sound like angels. So who knows?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's weird. Jesus said, "The voice was for you, not me." Well, if that's the case, it was not very efficient.
He goes on to say, "Now it's time for the prince of this world to be thrown out. I'll be lifted up from the earth, and everyone will be drawn to me." So the prince of this world, you know who that is. You know who he's talking about there.
Himself.
No. The prince of the world is going to be cast out.
Oh.
Who controls the world, according to Jesus?
The devil.
Yeah, it's not God, it's the devil.
Oh.
So the devil's going to be thrown out, and Jesus is going to be raised up, and everybody's going to be drawn to him.
Okay. The people said, "Who is the Son of Man?" Why would they ask him that?
Yeah, because he didn't refer to himself here as the Son of Man.
No.
But he's always talking about the Son of Man, right? He
Yeah.
frequently does refer to himself as the Son of Man. So I think maybe they're saying, "Who are you?"
Okay. And then Jesus answered,
"Walk while it's still light. When it gets dark, you won't know where you're going. Believe in the light. Be children of the light."
that was his answer to their question, who
Yeah.
is the Son of Man?
You know, Jesus is always saying things like, I'm the light, or I'm the door, or I'm the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah.
He's the light.
Okay.
So it's me.
So he's telling them.
Yeah.
And I guess
Son
they
of
get
Man.
it.
Son of Man is me. You're looking at him.
All right. Then Jesus left them. The people didn't believe in him because he's not answering their questions,
Yeah.
even though they saw him do many miracles.
They didn't believe because, as Isaiah said, God blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts so they wouldn't be able to see with their eyes or understand with their hearts and be converted.
Well, now, why would God do that?
Well, I don't know, but Isaiah did say that in chapter 6, verse 10. And so that's what this is referring to.
Uh-huh.
And Jesus is always repeating that. He's saying, they're not going to understand because God's hardened their heart. So Jesus and Isaiah and God are all thinking alike here. They're messing with people's minds so that they won't be able to understand and believe the truth about Jesus.
Like God did in Egypt. He hardened the Pharaoh's heart.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's messed up. Jesus cried out saying, "Those who believe in me don't believe in me." Okay, I'm still confused.
You got to finish. His next statement will clarify that.
They believe in the one who sent me.
Yeah, you see, so people that believe in me, they don't really believe in me. They believe in the one who sent me.
Oh, they believe in God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although they think they just heard him and he just sounded like thunder.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they believe in a natural God.
Well,
Nature.
Jesus goes on to further explain.
Oh, good.
If you see me, you see him. But if you don't believe in me, I won't judge you for it. I came to save the world, not to judge it. If you reject me, there's someone who will judge you. And you'll be judged on the last day.
That's the final word.
Yeah, and I think the someone is his
dad.
His dad, yeah.
Yeah, we don't say that, do we? We say his father.
His father, yeah.
Oh, we are being blasphemous today,
I think we have a really bad attitude today or something. I don't know what's into us. We just can't take Jesus seriously, right?
No, we can't. Oh, our listeners will forgive us.
I hope so.
Maybe they're right on board with us. Okay, well, thanks, Steve, for clearing this up for us.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
And listeners, we will see you next time. If you enjoy these podcasts, consider supporting us at patreon.com. And Martin Watkinson is the person who provides the music for us. Thanks so much, Martin. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.